It was here. It was right here. And I remember just having this insane idea. Let's open a YouTube channel. So now we're on our way to where I went to school many freaking years ago. It was actually my elementary school, and the place is actually abandoned now, which is pretty cool, so it's fun to walk around and kind of get all nostalgic. But something kind of happened there that sparked the inspiration to eventually open this YouTube channel. So the thing I like about this school is it's just kind of located out in a rural area, and that's actually where I live too. It's just kind of out in the middle of nowhere. There's just farms and like some small town places every so often, but you'll rarely see a car go by. It's really quiet. And you know, I used to be the guy that wanted to live in the city and enjoy the hustle and bustle of the city, but after living in the country for like 22 years, I just started liking this stuff because it's peaceful. It's a little longer of a drive to get into town, but I like the quiet. A lot of people are probably thinking like video people always live in New York or Los Angeles and that's where they're based out of, but not us. I mean, we're not that big in comparison, but even if we did get bigger, I'd probably still strive to live in a rural area. It's just a lot more relaxing, I think. And it looks beautiful. Here it is. So right inside of here, when I was in 2nd grade, I saw a Reading Rainbow episode that had Star Trek in it. And you know, LeVar Burton hosts Reading Rainbow, and he was on Star Trek. And what they did was they talked about and showed how like the miniature models looked big inside the show, how they did all this behind the scenes stuff, and that fascinated me. So I think that was kind of at the core of what made me want to get into movie magic. That's what made me want to get into video. And it all happened right inside the school, and it's totally shut down now. Just to give you an idea of how long this stuff has been here without being replaced, this used to be red. I don't even know what this game was called. I played it, but I didn't know what it was called. So now I'm in my backyard here because it was around this very spot where I first thought, I want to know what it's like to get feedback on a video. I want to share my videos with people. So as I was just standing here thinking, I was like, let's go on YouTube. And this was back when it was really young, but I saw some potential in it. I thought this could be a good place to share our stuff. All the things we did now, all the subscribers we got and all the views we received, it all came back to this little point, this little spot just in my backyard when I had that idea. Let's open a YouTube channel. So I dove in and I opened a freaking YouTube channel, finally, after thinking about it for a while. And the first thing I did was I uploaded these videos I made with my brother and my friend of us in our band. We had this music and we wanted to share it with people, and the first place we shared the music was on YouTube. And you gotta remember, we joined way back when YouTube was just a little baby. 10-minute videos, 100 megabyte file size. I think Google just barely acquired them. Like, in terms of Google owning YouTube, it was very young. So we started posting those band videos to YouTube, and I vividly remember the first comment I ever received, and I fuel off comments and stuff like that, so I was like, this is good, let's keep going. And in fact, that first video we ever posted on the channel was filmed in this very room, with this very camera. Good old Sony Handycam. Nice standard definition tape-based technology. But yeah, that's how it all started. It was very humble. In fact, I didn't really have an idea of where I wanted the channel to go, and it had no identity. The tech stuff is the big focus now, but when it started, we just did comedy skits, music videos, like, there was no identity. We were just a couple kids having fun, nothing much to it. Even the username I didn't put much thought into. I just go by Ken now, the channel's name is Computer Clan, but back then, the original handle, which is still on some of my social networks, was Hildron101010. Well, what the heck does that mean? Some people ask, and some people might know, but I'm gonna unlock the mystery box now. Hildron was a character from old comics I wrote and drew way back in elementary school. The name just stuck. It was the first thing that came to my head when I was opening the channel, because I needed to think of something. But the name by itself was somehow already taken by somebody else, so I had to append something. So I threw 101010 on the end because, well, I liked binary for some reason, so it's binary code, and it's actually binary code for the number 42, and we all know the significance behind that number. So that's the origin story of the username, but still, the channel had no identity, it had no name. So that's the stuff we really had to figure out next.
Just blast me away, what the heck? Well, that one's mine.
And I'll tell you what, it didn't take long for us to find one of those first things that we could really make a lot of videos about. This game right here, this is from the Marble Blast series. We did so many videos about this game back in the day. This game kind of was popular back then. I mean, it was even pre-installed on certain Mac computers, and I got into it, and I started building custom levels for the game and sharing the videos on YouTube. We did a lot with this game, and in fact, we were a little bit known in the community. We had some popularity in the Marble Blast community. And as we kept doing this, we actually, we took a break from it, but when we came back, we got so much attention for the Marble Blast Ultra website, the PC port version of Marble Blast Ultra. We got so much attention for their website and their community that they actually have been in several streams with us, they've been in videos with us, the developers, and they even put our Computer Clan logo on one of the Marble skins. So, and that wasn't that long ago, that was only a couple years ago, but it all started with one of the first things that put us on the map, this game. So Marble Blast was definitely one of the big things that kind of got us on the map. We don't do a lot with it now, but it had its time. That was one of the things we were really passionate about in the early days, before the Computer Clan name even existed. So, for the past couple of days, I've been trying to make some phone calls and pull some strings to get back into my old middle school, and the year is actually just starting up, so they're kind of busy, but I managed to arrange a little visit, so I will be showing you something else significant that happened with the Computer Clan inside that school. In fact, the Computer Clan name didn't exist yet, but that's what we're going to be taking a look at really soon. So this room is kind of significant. It may look like a music room now, but it actually used to be a gymnasium before the school was remodeled. And it was here, right in this gym, where the Computer Clan was first discussed publicly. Up until that point, it was just kind of an intangible idea inside my head. So this is where I first brought up the name. This is the place where I first talked about it with some friends I wanted to actually start this channel with. Now at the time, the name Computer Clan, it was all a joke. I was just joking around. I wasn't really sure what name I would stick with, but my friends ended up liking the idea, and I guess the name stuck. Now, the Computer Clan channel was actually a separate YouTube channel for a while because we wanted to use the new Computer Clan name, but this was back in the hard, tough old days where YouTube wouldn't let you change your username, so we had to make a separate channel, separate from the one I was currently running. Eventually that idea didn't work out and we just put everything on one channel, and then eventually YouTube let you change your name, so we won in the end. But it started as a separate channel, and the name came from the fact that I wanted to get a group of people together, a clan if you will, and we wanted to make videos about computers or about technology. So Computer Clan, there's the name, and everyone loves alliterations, right? Especially C alliterations, Computer Clan. Boom, simple, it just worked. Okay, so we had our fun new name, Computer Clan. It stuck. Okay, what were we going to do with it? As I kept doing more video production, I realized there was a subject matter that really worked. Like I talked about earlier, it's tech. Tech is our biggest focus. It has been for a long time. We're a family for techies. We educate and entertain people with the world of tech, and we've been doing it for over a decade now. So, right here, this is a Crazy Ken episode I've been cutting, and this format, it's kind of rooted in the early days when I did tech video logs, and some of the earliest videos, like this iMac video, that was the stuff we did. We loved doing that stuff, and that kind of started growing popularity. The Mac versus PC thing was also a huge debate back then. It's really not like that anymore, but that was a big thing, and, I picked my side back in the early days of the Computer Clan, and, I kind of regret doing ridiculous videos like that, but honestly, that was another thing that put us on the map. That stuff got tens of thousands of views, so that was another thing that kept us going. So it was the tech stuff, absolutely, and I knew that was our identity. Naturally, I just gravitated towards that, so we stuck with it. So now we're down here where a lot of the magic happens. This is the studio. A lot of ideas came out of this room. A lot of filming was done in this room. Most of the Crazy Kens are filmed down here. Shenanigans was all filmed down here. Computer Showdown was created down here. Vintage Apple Tours was filmed down here. So much happened just within these four walls. It's kind of crazy when you think about it and look back. But what's even more exciting, I think, is what's behind this door. And you might have seen this door in some behind the scenes stuff before, but I never really talked about what was behind it. Well, back in 2009, when the Computer Clan started doing webcasts, this is actually where I streamed from. It's a coat closet, but I gutted it, wired up cameras and microphones, and that's where I streamed from. In fact, I just put this little stupid sign up here when I wanted to do a webcast. But those days of being in a coat closet are over. It's now literally back to being a coat closet. Let's take a look. So yeah, I mean, it's literally a coat closet now. Lots of coats in a tiny closet. It's kind of claustrophobic in here, but this is all I had. I mean, I streamed out of here for probably a couple years, just hooking up cameras and all that. So, humble beginnings. Yeah, I wasn't kidding about that. I can tell you this, I've certainly learned a lot in a decade. I kind of think, what would it be like if I took the knowledge I had now and could have that 10 years ago? Because I look at other big YouTubers that have been around for as long as me and the Computer Clan, or even shorter. And yeah, they have grown faster. And I think about, what have they done differently? And, it's all about experience. I mean, they probably had more experience than me. Well, I was a naive little 13-year-old, so I bet they had more experience than me when they started. And that's good for them. I want to keep growing this. And a lot of people talk to me about starting a YouTube channel. In fact, I was just in the Twin Cities talking with someone about it. And I love that passion. I love it when people want to do their own thing. And I love it when they come to me for help. And I'm here to help, absolutely. But I won't sugarcoat it. Being on YouTube isn't necessarily a glamorous job, it's really tough, and it's sometimes, maybe a lot of times for content creators, more rigorous than a full-time job, but it pays way less than minimum wage most of the time. You may see some big popular YouTubers out there, but in the grand scheme of things, with how many users there are, over 1 billion users, and how many content creators there are, I don't have an exact number, but there's probably millions. Those really, really popular people, that's a handful. That's a very small percentage of people that can make YouTube their full-time job. And I would love that to be the future, of course. But things are really changing. The YouTube algorithm changed, and that affected a lot of people, me included. Advertising is changing. The market's becoming really oversaturated. There's a lot of gamers on YouTube. And I'm pretty sure with Vine shutting down, there's a lot more vloggers flocking to YouTube as well. And it's really, really competitive. I will exit just with a few notes here. If you want to start this career, let's just say, don't do it because you want to get popular. Don't do it for the money. And when I started this humble little thing years ago, money and popularity were not in the question whatsoever, and I think that's good. If you do this for the money and for the popularity, you're going to get very frustrated, and you're just going to become more complacent more quickly. That's a death sentence to the creative mind. Do it because you want to do it. And I don't like to talk about specifics when it comes to financials, but the Computer Clan made a decent amount of money, and after that algorithm change, yes, the performance and the payout has definitely gone down. But my desire to continue making content, that hasn't gone down. Because I still love doing it, despite what happens with money or popularity. Yes, that stuff is great, and I want to keep aiming for that, but you gotta want to do this because you love to do it, because there's passion, not for popularity or money. So there's a lot of challenges that come with it for sure. But I think the biggest one is fighting off the envy. I know I shouldn't envy others, but sometimes, me being truthful here, it does kind of suck when I see some content creator who's way younger and they got popular in like 6 months to a year, and they've worked a fraction of the amount of time I've worked, and they're making a lot more money and getting a lot more popularity than me. I have to remember that I can't become envious of those people, and that's hard. I can't let that get to me. My time could come. It absolutely could. My big break could be right around the corner. I don't know. Those guys might just be a fad, and poof, they're gonna die out soon. there is a reason why they've gotten their popularity, and they deserve the good luck and the experiences and the wealth they get. But seeing it and not being envious of it is hard. So as long as I keep that at the top of my mind while doing this, yeah, the computer clan will be fine.